Hello guys, and welcome back to another one of Lucie Ask Leo. I'm taking over my amazing husband's channel and I'm asking one of your questions today. If you have any questions or want me to ask him anything, don't forget to comment below and I'll try to ask him next time. So today the question is, why aren't you vegan?
Oh, great. That's a great question. Yeah, I saw that. Someone asked, yeah. That's a good question. So I have to think about how to respond. Okay, the first thing is, I want to say something. I respect any sacrifice someone makes for a genuine moral reason. So even if I don't agree with their morality, I respect that, because there are many people in the world that live without any moral compass. And not only is that a dishonorable way to live, but it will not lead them to happiness. You know, I was watching an interview on Vlad TV the other day with a rapper, and they were saying money buys happiness. And the rapper was saying, I'm not saying he's immoral, but I'm just saying money doesn't buy happiness. This is not true. Morality and good living buys happiness. I mean, many other things do. But this guy was saying, yeah, you know, if I get upset, I go and buy a bunch of cars and I feel better. Well, this is you feel upset because you don't have any grounding in your life. You shouldn't be getting that upset when your baby mama does some problems with you, that you have to go buy some cars. And that's just an ego-driven lifestyle. You know, this rapper thinks he's rich. He said, I'm doing what you can't do. I know people that can buy and sell him 20 times, they're not happy. He's just has 100 million or 200 million. Anyway, the point is, what I'm trying to say is, morality, not only does it lead us to happiness when you know what you're living for, but it is respectable, truly respectable and honorable. So I respect vegans. That are not all of them. We live in California and there's a lot of trendy vegans. Yeah. No, there's two things, yeah. One thing is that a lot of them are trendy. They do it simply because they want to fit in and they want to be cool, and there have been people on YouTube that have done this, that turned vegan to get a following. I've seen that. In fact, I think Jason Blah was one of them. Yeah, he was vegan for a while, and he mentioned that it helps with the following and all this kind of stuff. I recall years ago. So there are people that do that, but there's also the really aggressive vegans. And so that's an interesting situation, because so I respect religious people also, because I find that religion purifies the soul for many people. But some religious people, like in the Spanish, were crucifying the native Mexicans who were refusing to convert. Can you respect that? I can respect a Christian, really. I have a lot I respect in Christianity. But I don't I mean, and I know the history of Christianity probably better than most Christians. And still I respect it. And for those of you, many people comment that like, you're deluded, you believe in God. Now, I know the history of religions better than you guys that are commenting, to be honest with you. But I respect the values of Christianity. There are many beautiful things in it. But if you go and crucify someone because they refuse to believe in it, then so some people then get upset. Oh, I don't like the religious people. They judge everyone and so on. You can be different ways about it. So I can respect vegans, but not respect the vegan that comes and tells me I'm a bad person because I eat meat. Right? Now, so that's one thing. I don't want to say I respect vegans. And by the way, some people have been calling me soy boy when I first opened the channel. Apparently, this is the term you call to vegans that are like feminized because they eat soy, which has phytoestrogens in it. I am not feminized. I'm not a soy boy. I've never eaten soy knowingly, except maybe with the East Asian food. This is not me. I am purely interested in living a healthy life as long as I can. This is what I wanted. It's not because so anyway. Now let's talk about it from two angles. One is the morality angle, and one's the nutrition angle. I'll try to be brief. So in terms of morality, this is a personal opinion. As I said, I respect anyone who sacrifices. Another thing is, sacrifice is a beautiful element of humanity. You guys will notice that sacrifice is involved in all religions. There's an element of sacrifice, either your own sacrifice or symbolic sacrifice, even in Judaism. So all religions have some kind of sacrifice in it. Sacrifice makes people better. But in terms of my own moral understanding, so I love animals, but I feel like I have a more, I feel like, personally, this is my opinion, you know, I feel like I have a natural understanding of animals. I grew up with animals. I lived on a ranch. We had a small farm. You know, I grew up around animals, and I grew up also watching National Geographic. You know, I never got to travel to Africa yet, but I watched and studied. I used to want to be an ecologist. So I try to understand animal ecology and how the animal life works. And in general, in natural animal life, animals eat animals. So now I understand when a vegan says we're farming animals to eat them. Like we're growing them, putting them in cages to eat them, and they're in bad conditions. That I understand. And maybe that part of what they're doing is noble. But to tell me that a human is not an animal and shouldn't eat animals seems to contradict evidence of most of what evidence we have. Of course, we only have written history for like 5,000 years or so. Before that, we have other obvious things like kinds of tools that we had and stuff like that. It seems like we were hunting. From what we can tell, it seems like we were hunting for a very long time. So it seems like humans have been omnivorous for a very long time. So first of all, it seems like that's natural to us. Second of all, it seems like animals in general, a lot of animals, not all, a lot of them eat animals. In fact, some are even cannibals. They eat from their own species. That's a natural part of life. So it seems to me when you think of this idea of like eating an animal as inhumane, I feel like that is very removed. You've really removed yourself from the wildlife, from the ecology, from the system, and you think of yourself something like not an animal, like you're not part of it, like you're above them, and that they can eat each other, but you can't eat them. It doesn't seem natural to me. And I respect the element of I'll only eat wild. Actually, we only eat wild. Animals that are grass-fed and under certain conditions. And eventually, we hope to have a ranch and to eat only from our own animals or from hunting. I don't like game, to be honest, myself that much. I'm not used to it. Foreign meats are odd to me. But so that's from an ethical perspective. I respect their concern over animals, but the idea that humans are not meant to eat animals and things like that doesn't seem to make sense from all the evidence we have historically. In terms of nutrition, this is the thing. I actually don't eat much animals because I don't want to raise my mTOR by having too much protein. It's not so much the TMAO element, which I've discussed before and I have a blog post about, but it's mainly the protein for me. Not even the saturated fat, to be honest. The protein is just signals to my body to grow. My cells can only divide so many times in my life. There's a lot of reasons. I cited in the Greg Doucette cookbook video a great paper on how protein, through multiple mechanisms, through leucine, but through methionine as well, can worsen health outcomes and worsen longevity in humans. So I try to only get my protein when it comes with some phytochemical that's useful. So I get protein from, for example, lentils, but they have a lot of other phytochemicals that are useful. I'm trying to make my diet the most efficient to yield the best result for me. I'm not concerned so much with having much muscle. What's muscle used for? For a place to go put your excess glucose so you don't become diabetic. Well, I don't eat those kind of foods anyway, and I don't need that muscle anymore. I was muscular when I was younger, I was strong, all of that. I don't need to keep doing it. I'm past the age of 30, right? And by the way, many of you who are younger than 30, you'll find this out yourself. When you get past the age of 30, or when you've become very muscular once, sometimes you may miss it a little bit, but that's it. You accomplish your goal, you feel fine. I mean, I was not trying to be muscular, but trying to be strong. I was very, very strong at one point, so I feel fine, and I don't need to ruin my health because of an ego or something like that. Like many people on YouTube that have channels, they wear a short sleeve shirt or something like that. They're constantly on hormones, which, by the way, I should have mentioned in the other video. But anyway, they're constantly on hormones because they have to keep impressing the audience and stuff like that. It's an ego-driven thing, and they're killing themselves in the long term. So the point is, I try to choose, I try not to eat too much protein. So I do like meat. For example, we just stopped our fast recently, a couple of days ago, and we ate meat a couple of times already. I eat meat. I want IGF-1 to go back up a little bit after my fast, but I rarely eat meat. What I do eat sometimes is liver, because I don't like the idea of depending on supplements for essential vitamins. So we do eat liver a little bit, and this is why I'm very into this idea of getting rid of my blood so I can get rid of iron. And we eat eggs sometimes. These are very nutrient-dense foods.
And I eat cheese.
She eats cheese a lot. And she has influenced me into eating cheese many times, and I'm rebelling against this. It's very bad. I really don't think that eating cheese has many... See, this is the thing about meat and cheese. I believe that they're very useful for the younger people. Like people in their teenage years or in childhood. They have a lot. They're very nutrient-dense and very useful. But as you get older, But it's not clear. Is meat? I mean, it's clear that processed meat is unhealthy, but it's not completely clear as meat and cheese unhealthy overall. We don't really completely know. But I know that I want less protein and I want less nitrites. It's the nitrites in the cheese that mainly concern me, as well as a little bit of calcium. It's too much calcium with all the salad I eat and everything. But basically, I eat my diet's basically vegan, actually. But I would never say that. But it is basically vegan, except for the liver.
Yeah.
And most of the time,
meat. Yeah,
sometimes meat. But I don't have a moral stand on it. You know, so for me, as long as you're not raising chickens in cages.
Let me rephrase that. It's vegan, but like with raw things, not processed vegan food. We never eat that.
Oh, you can be a very unhealthy vegan.
Yeah,
yeah, they're like Vegan Gains. Yeah, I've seen his channel. There's a guy called Vegan Gains. He eats just crap food half the time. I mean, really crap. Chocolate chips, I don't know what. It's crazy foods that they eat. So you can be a very unhealthy vegan, absolutely. What I eat is mostly raw, basically plant matter, and some meat things, but I'm selective. Like, I'd rather eat an egg than a steak. I'd rather eat especially liver than anything else. So that's the way I eat, basically. What about you?
So, me, I tried being vegan for 2 years.
That's true, yeah.
But I will let you know my experience on my channel. First of all, why I did it, and why I stopped, and what was the results for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I never mentioned this. So Lucie has a new channel. I've made a post about it. You guys should watch her channel. That's a great idea for you to do a video about it, because you were vegan for quite a while and you had an interesting response.
Absolutely.
And even though you eat mostly plant stuff now, you don't have that experience that you had before, because we have
I was,
properly...
Yes,
yeah.
I was a non-healthy eating vegan.
Absolutely.
Influenced by a documentary, but then I did my research and I tried, being vegan. And I had, friends around me that stopped eating meat, so I was like, why not trying it? And at the same time, I had, a little weight to lose, so I thought it would be a great idea.
Yeah, Lucie has lost a lot of weight. That's something many people, they don't know on the channel. You lost a lot of weight and she's made a lot of,
50 pounds.
Yeah. So, anyway, thank you, Lucie. It was a great question.
Alright, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye. I said bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.